This video is sponsored by Skillshare. I've never really considered myself to be a creative person, and the definitions, creatives and creative people, is something that I personally have always really kind of struggled with. And I think this comes back to my schooling days. You know, at my school, we had art, which was just drawing and painting. We had music and we had theatre. And I was terrible at all three of those things, but I was really good at maths and physics. So I was considered a logical person, and I wasn't one of those creative types. And this kind of stuck. You know, I still struggle to call myself a creative person, and I know that there's going to be plenty of people watching this video who also really struggle with the idea that they could actually be creative. The first thing that I want to say is that all people are creative. I don't care that you don't consider yourself to be a creative person. I would say that to be human is to be creative. We are by nature creative beings. Number two is that even if you don't believe that, even if you think that that's total nonsense, if you don't think of yourself as being a creative person, that's absolutely fine, but if you let that stop you from taking on new hobbies and new passions, that's where it becomes a bit of an issue. And the third thing that I want to say is that we really need to broaden the horizons, and we need to broaden the scope of what is actually deemed to be creative endeavors. Because currently, you know, we've got film, we've got photography, we've got art, we have music, and we basically have this kind of small subset, this very specific group of creative endeavors that we hold up on a pedestal and we say, those are the creative things. Those are the creative things that humans can do. All the rest is just the logical, the boring stuff. We're currently having our house renovated. That's why I'm in this very temporary setup right here. The builders who are working on the house, 100%, that is creative. If you enjoy cooking for your family and you feel like freestyling a little bit off the recipe, you fancy adding an extra few herbs and spices and things, that's creative. You spend your evenings making memes, 100% creative. I could go on. You know, programming. Once again, that is another one that is considered incredibly logical. It's literally maths, just with words involved. It's incredibly logical, but it's also very creative. No one, I don't think anyone can argue this. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear people describe themselves as not creative anymore. You know, myself included. I fall foul to it, despite the fact that I'm in a creative profession. You know, I'm in one of the traditionally creative professions. Despite this, I still struggle calling myself a creative person, and I still struggle to refer to myself as creative. And yeah, it's a point of insecurity for me, and that stops now. And the most important takeaway here is that you should never let that label of not being a creative person stop you from taking on something creative. Because I know personally that I've felt that in the past. You know, I've felt like I can't take up filmmaking. I felt like I can't do photography and things like that because I'm just not a creative person. That's not for me. I'm a logical person. I should focus on other things. And that's ridiculous. You know, I clearly am drawn to it for some reason. And the idea that because I've always told myself that I'm not a creative person should stop me from doing that, that's mad. And I don't know, because I've felt that, maybe I'm the only person in the world that's felt that, but I feel like there's got to be more of you out there. And hopefully some of you are watching this video, and hopefully it makes a difference in some way. Now it's time for a quick message from today's sponsor, Skillshare. Just the fact that you're watching this video suggests to me that you're interested in learning new things and expanding your creativity, and Skillshare is the perfect platform for that. It's filled with incredibly talented people from all different fields sharing their information and knowledge with you. Some recent courses that I personally have enjoyed is Video on a Budget by YC Imaging. The main takeaway from this is what makes a strong video treatment. I'm good at filming projects. I'm not very good at pitching filming projects, so this is a massive help. Next up, we've got Street and Documentary Photography by Andre D. Wagner. And the main takeaway for me here is not to overthink my street photography work. I'm a cinematographer, I want to control everything, and I need to give up that control when shooting street. And then finally, we've got Aram Atkinson, Crafting a Powerful Narrative to Redefine Your Business. I have a lot of small business ideas and I don't really know where to start, and Aram's course has given me some really good pointers to get the ball rolling. What more can I say? I genuinely love Skillshare. It's curated specifically for learning, it's ad-free, it's under $10 a month. I mean, it's just a fantastic community. The first 1,000 to click the link in the description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. And thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video.